guys, welcome back to Mainville UTV. I'm Kyle, and this is my good friend Steve. He invited me out to check out this fine, insane machine, and Steve here is going to tell you just a little bit about it. Who does it belong to?
The machine itself belongs to OFSC, Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs, but this one is operated by Bontrae Snowmobile Club in Renfrew County.
And you're a volunteer?
I am a volunteer groomer operator.
I met Steve in RCATV. He was the vice president of the ATV club here in Renfrew County. And when he wasn't doing that in his off season, he's also doing this. So beyond all the things that Steve is, he's quite the volunteer. So he invited me out to check this machine out. And I obviously said yes because it's cool and oddly therapeutic. I wish I could share the complete experience, but you'll have to settle for video. So we're going to be taking some shots. We're doing a nice stretch between Killaloe and Barry's Bay. So that's his home turf. We were just talking about that. You know, he says he knows every little rock in here because he's figured them all out, obviously. But so we're heading along. We're going to show you some pretty cool footage and tell you what the grooming experience is all about. So if you take a look at this spot here, I just jumped out real quick. Local company here piled up a bunch of snow on purpose so that when Steve comes along with the groomer, he can actually make a ramp. This portion here is actually quite steep. So Steve's just trying to make it a little more mellow for the sledders that are coming through. So he moved a huge pile of snow to make this happen. He's just cleaning it up. Because before, you'd take a sled up this, you'd be rocketing up into the sky. Now he's just going to make it nice and smooth. He already did the other side and it was quite nice. I just wanted to make sure I got this moment because it's pretty cool. I didn't realize there was this much work into grooming. It's one of those things you don't really put a whole lot of thought into. It's just kind of done for you, right? So it's definitely really awesome to watch. It's mesmerizing when you're actually inside. A lot of snow went into this ramp. Look at that, folks. It's like glass. Very cool. How long have you been doing this?
4 years.
Four full seasons?
Yeah. I think 4 or 5. I think it was 4.
And you just do this one track back and forth?
I do this, and then like, one day we'll do this one to Barry's Bay, and the next day we go to Golden Lake.
Oh, okay.
So we cross over on Lake Dory Road, where it goes up into Lumbers Lake.
Yeah.
That's where we switch off with the club up in Eagleville.
And both of them are pretty much a day affair there and back?
Yeah, this one's the longest one. The one to Golden Lake, it's probably another 6-7 hours, depending on the weather, depending on what's happening. The first run is always longer because you got to fix all the roads.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow, Mike and I are going to go out and I have to build a bunch of ramps and stuff down into the reservation.
Oh, okay.
Just like snow ramps.
But when you finally get past all the roadways and you're on a rail bed or something, it's just easy sailing, nice cruise?
Generally speaking, yeah. Yeah, these are the easy stretches for sure.
We saw some deer, we ran into them a couple times actually.
Yeah.
2 patches.
Well, where that landowner locked us out, see there's another rock. Where the landowner locked us out, he fed the deer, so when you drive through there, you'd see sometimes, 20 deer.
doing this at night. And I kind of have an idea as to why.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I've seen you post pictures of doing this kind of work at night. It's all lit up and it's kind of your own little world, nothing out here but you.
Absolutely. It's like your own little bubble. It's very peaceful.
But this has been on its own already, so.
It's actually not that I like doing it at night. I do, but it's actually a lot better to do it at night because a lot less traffic. So if you can do it, you know, somewhere between 10 and whatever in the morning, and there's no traffic on it overnight, and it freezes up really nice and solid, and it gives you a beautiful, long-lasting trail.
As a snowmobiler, I can understand that having some patience is quite difficult because you finally get snow. Like a year, like this year, for example, we're halfway through January.
Yeah.
People are itching. They might have new sleds and they want to get out. But if you just hold on that few extra days after a snowfall, everything will be just that much better.
Yeah, for sure.
Canada, as far as I'm concerned, is the Wild West. There's a couple guidelines, a few rules, and as long as you abide by them, the world's your oyster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Steve, we took a second to clean up the trailer there. I don't know what it's actually called.
It's called a drag.
A drag.
Yeah.
So we cleaned up the drag because you were actually cutting all the limbs and stuff off the trail.
Yeah.
So you're dragging this thing behind you. And what are you trying to achieve when you're going through here?
So what we're trying to do is get a nice, smooth, flat trail for people to ride on. And if you look at this trail, the way it came out, this is ideal for a first run. It's beautiful. But we like to get the old white ribbon, so to speak. And it looks really nice and it's beautiful to ride on, provided people stay off it. There's nothing worse than having a sledder come up right behind the drag and start spinning around, and because it doesn't have time to set and freeze. This trail is beautiful, but it has to freeze for a few hours in the cold, and then it has some longevity to it. But if you ride on it right away, it just destroys it.
So that's the big reason you want snowmobilers, just to kind of give you some time to let it set.
Absolutely, that would be a much better trail for them, and it lasts a lot longer before you get all the moguls and everything into it. So the longer it sets, it freezes up. That's why we like to groom overnight.
So the drag that I now know about creates this.
Yeah, you can see there's 4 lines in it. If you see these lines here, these are our skegs on the bottom of the pan, and that's what keeps the drag going straight. So those wear down quite quickly, but that's why you see these 4 lines if you're seeing. You see the nice white ribbon, and then the 4 lines.
So you were also using this thing, so when you have inclines and declines, to make a smoother trail, you were using the drag to collect snow and fill voids?
Absolutely. There's a lot of snow. I don't know what the capacity is, but this whole section back here fills right up full of snow, and I can fill the whole drag full of snow. So if I got a low spot or a spot that doesn't get a lot of snow, I can bring a whole bunch with me and just dump it off and make a nice smooth trail there.
Well, right on. Let's get back into her.
Sounds good. Friggin' snibbies for her. Okay.
Traction control, tow, haul, front rear sensors, and the airbags. That's the brake controller.
Yes.
All sorts of little goodies.
Why people don't buy trucks with brake controllers, I don't understand that.
Oh, they're pretty easy to put in as a whole anyway, but when they build them in, it's way better.
Yeah, exactly. And you can buy them as a kit later on even.
I put Casas in, no problem. I think the hardest part was finding the right wire.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. Other than that, I think it took me 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're not hard to do.
And then I just zipped it into the dash.
But why would you buy a truck without a brake controller? Or, have a truck without a brake controller? Because you know you're going to it.
Well, what kind of truck do you have? Like, if it's a B3500 or something from the 90s, like, it's not going to tow a big brake-controlled trailer.
B3500.
Yeah,
Is that
those
a
old
Mazda?
little mini Mazda trucks.
You're lucky to haul a wheelbarrow in the back.
That's what I mean. So
Yeah.
it doesn't need a brake controller.
No, it doesn't need a brake controller, but a good sized truck does.
So I hope you guys can see us. It's 6:30 at night, which is actually a pretty short day from what you were quoting me.
Yeah, it's pretty typical, I think. A little bit.
We got going at what, 9 a.m.?
Yeah, 9:30 we left.
So 9:30 to 6:30. You can do the math on that. I'm too tired. I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, I'm not doing it anymore.
We got out 150 liters of fuel, you said.
Yeah, 150 on the dot.
So when you guys are buying your trail passes and it asks you what club you want to support with your trail pass,
Pick Bontre.
Bontre Snowmobile Club, or your own. That's fine too.
Yeah, okay, you can do your own.
But thanks to Snow Country, Bontre, and obviously Steve Hebb. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Yeah, it was fun. It was a
treat.
good day.
I'm not doing it twice though.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'll
That's
be out
it.
again at her tomorrow.